bit of fun. Brother Marlo, that's the brother. He's a clinician. That brother's worked jails and everything. He'd be a good person for y'all to talk to. We're gonna create a network across this country. So I appreciate you reaching out. See how cool it is if we cooperate, if we act like we're a damn nation. Some brother called me about prostate cancer. His last name was Boyd. You know, we started talking. We have the same cousin. Because it says, "Your family from Virginia?" It says, "No, but I'm related to that dude named Boyd with the national." It says, "Well, he's my cousin too." So it says, "Hey, cousin, I never even talked to this dude, but you know, he's having the same problem. You know, you have a stilted dick. A lot of y'all out there, y'all silently. And Viagra isn't the solution. You know, Viagra is almost like a narcotic for your dick. Once the high is over, it goes back to the small ass size it was before. Um, just saying." You need to cure the problem. See, that's what they give you Viagra. I mean, they give you stuff to make your dick go dead, and then you have to pay them to get a hard on. And then it don't last that long. Then you got to keep buying it. And then the price of the pills. At first, the price of Viagra was cheap. Now they're trying to break your ass every time you want to bust a nut. Can you imagine if you had to pay every time you busted a nut? A lot of people would be broke out in the street, man. Well, I have a job. Can you imagine the homeless people for busting a nut having to pay a fine for it? And so,
well, if I can, Dr. Randy Short, most people, most males probably they don't know is well, you need to put blueberries in you that help with testosterone. You need ginger.
oh, I
It
love
helps, and also most of us don't drink enough water. If you have problems lasting longer, you know, we being men, I don't talk a certain way, but if you have problems lasting longer, you need to drink more water. You drink more water that day. If you got the company related, drink more water that day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got Janico, I can't say the name correctly, but you got
You mean
also,
ginkgo?
and ginseng.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
got
Well, no, that
different
ginseng,
herbs that you can
and
take.
you know ginseng because the little Asians have little small penises, so you know that shit's good because they use it. I mean, they
It's
need
good
help.
for you. It's good for your health.
Right.
Well,
Well,
but ginger and blueberry is the main two that I would say because they help other things as well. But make sure you get blueberries in your diet, and make sure you get ginger root in your diet. If people make ginger tea, make sure you get those. 'Cause those help with other things as well as your testosterone.
no, but you know what? You're giving it away. Y'all, we're doing a show at 9 o'clock. No, that's okay. We're going to be doing Black Dicks Matter at 9 p.m. That's my next show after this one. Okay. It even sounds cool. Black Dicks Matter. Okay. Y'all know it's true. Let me see. So, yeah, we have to have this conversation. And I had been thinking to talk about it, but you know, but we're going to be talking about Ofaga and Kumswalla first. And y'all know I can't stand these people.
You might want to get you some water.
Okay, so, well, no. Yeah, I should get some water. You're a water pusher. One of those niggas walk around with water and nuts and shit.
No.
Okay, I'm playing with you. Have fun. I mean, that's why there's so much violence down there. Y'all don't laugh. Laugh.
Dr. Randy Short gonna say that's why some of the violence down there, y'all don't laugh.
That's it, because y'all don't laugh. But everybody was serious down there in Tennessee. People get mad. You couldn't even talk to people. What you say to me? And I said hi. You did? Oh. And then walk around thinking everybody's out to get me. I'm not out to get you. So let me, I got to do this other thing. So I'm going to let you go so I can come on my other channel. White woman to all you brothers out there. White man to all you sisters. MFM everybody. You know, motherfucking money. We all need it. Can y'all say motherfucking money, boys and girls? Exactly. Motherfucking money. We need it. I mean, Crispus Attucks' ass didn't get it. He got shot before he got a check. Dr. King got shot before he got a check. Huey Newton got shot before he got a check. Malcolm got shot before he got a check. Mark Clark and Fred Hampton got shot before they got a check. I mean, damn.
Celebrities, when they start going after their money, that's when they start. They end up
Otis,
giving drugs.
Otis Redding didn't get the check like he's supposed to. Sam Cooke, they took his check. I mean, they killed his ass. Man, he looked like he was trying to fuck some ugly Asian bitch. We we need MFM, and so let me get ready. You gotta hang up, brother Marlo. If you want to come in, it's the Angry Black Men's Book Club, or I can email you if you'd like, and you could be a guest. But yeah, you could. Well, do Black Dicks Matter, right? So I know you're busy down in Mississippi, and if you get a chance, if you really want to do, I got the books by the way, and my friend got the book. The one thing I'd like from Mississippi is I'd like to find a way to get some damn sugar cane. Y'all get that down there. We don't. It's hard to. You got to like go to the illegal neighborhood where they want to kill you for being black, and I'm just telling you. And it's all red and worn out and shit when it gets up here. I like it when it's green. You know what I'm saying?
We
Anyway,
got plenty.
well, I mean, I. By the way, I got my decision, my ruling. The judge ruled. The answer is yes. So I'm coming to Mississippi, and
Oh,
that's going
what?
to be fun. And y'all gonna have to protect me because I say white woman, I'm gonna get lynched and shit down in Mississippi. I'll be just like my cousin Emmett Till and shit. Except I said that I did say white woman, but it's not that I want a white woman, but saying white woman is a revolutionary act. It is. And so anyway, let me let you go. I gotta light up this other channel, and you know how to catch me, brother. Okay.
Okay,
All
send me.
right.
You send me the link to the email now. I definitely come on.
Okay. Well, I'll email it to you. I will.
Okay,
All right.
appreciate that, Doc.
Whiteness. Bye bye.
All right.
Right. Okay. No, we have to laugh. Come on, y'all. There's a lot of miserable shit. Do you know if I had a fucked up attitude, I'd be crying. Oh, I got cancer in my dick. I can't do that. You understand me? I'm not doing shit like that. I refuse to be miserable. I refuse. You know, to find out that my ass nearly died and shit, I feel like partying. Okay. That's how I feel. I feel like raising hell that I'm still here, right? That I'm still here and I'm not dead, and there's even a chance to like resuscitate my dick with you know, you don't really value your dick as much until you have something like this happen. So if I'm talking about it, I'm a little obsessed. It's not because I want to touch anybody's. I'm too busy trying to touch my own. Like, damn, you okay, buddy? Um, but no, we're gonna work this out. We're gonna be talking about that. So just know at 9 o'clock we'll be talking Black Dicks Matter, and we'll be hearing about prostate cancer. I'll be reading facts and shit, so it won't be jokes. Although I can make talking about prostate cancer as humorous as I can. And damn, I don't know how this shit spreads so fast. Maybe my cancer cells come fast and spread. It really keep moving around. Anyway, let me get ready. Yes, no, it's not for kids. You're not gonna censor my ass, bitches. Okay. You have to always make certain stuff is for adults because they try to come for you and say that you're trying to. They're the ones that want to have mind-attracted persons, but yet you can't talk about dick and pussy on the internet, and yet they've got full frontal nudity. I'm dressed. As most you can see is my neckline and shit. Okay. White woman, everybody. There it is. And it's 2 minutes to 6. There. Whew. Okay, I'm almost ready, y'all. Okay. Mark, I went on sabbatical for salt ministry because I didn't feel well. And I'm glad I did, because how can I sit up and take care of everybody else and I'm not doing well? I believe we're going to resume salt in mid-September. I want to get through. I have like lots and lots of doctor's appointments. I don't know what the medication is going to do. Medications and stuff that they're going to have me on. So, but hopefully in September. Hopefully in September we'll start doing salt again. And I may not do it every Saturday. I want to do some traveling. Need to go to Africa and a couple of other places. So I can't wait. But we will do salt. I may even have to start pre-recording it and doing shorter messages. But I want to do that. Let me see. How come I don't hear anything? Okay. So, but we will do salt. In fact, I will be praying. And Mark, pray for me. That is crazy to have two cancers and have this. But I thank God I'm here. All foul language and stuff aside. God is real. God kept me. As I said, I am lucky to be alive. This is like the second time in less than 3 years since something should have killed me and did not. So we're all right. Thank you for praying. And you look like Denise. Let's look at your face. Says, oh my God, he looks like Denise became a tranny. Anyway. Anyway. Yeah, DeAndre, I'm okay. If you heard the message, I have stage 4 prostate cancer. I don't think I will be here. God wants to be here, so I will beat it. So all is well. Now I'm waiting for this brother to kick off his channel. This is Mr. Smallwood, and I think he's called the Kosher Clinician. He has a channel. YouTube has been bothering him, so I've got to be, I can't be as honest, but that's okay. I don't think his show's going to be that long, because we're going to go back to how we normally get down for Black Dicks Matter at about 9 o'clock. Are y'all down with that? And I could have said Straight Dicks Matter, but I didn't want to have a community standards thing where people felt offended. And I was thinking Dick Lives Matter, but that sounds kind of gay. So Black Dicks Matter sounds more militant, like, right? So you have to think about this. Why is he talking about Dick's Lives Matter? Man, you're going to dick in here, and that's why you see. But if you say Black Dicks Matter, oh, that's right, my dick does matter. So you have to use psychology when you come up with these titles. Otherwise, somebody will get mad at you. And yes, I have so many things I bought and looking at, wanted to share. We got to get back to God, got to get back to books. You'll have no idea. And I was having like headaches from hell. I could not concentrate. Couldn't even do the reading and stuff I want to do. As you see now, I'm energized. There was a thing I was telling people about called Ducia. It helps the blood flow. It kills the bacteria in the blood. So I feel much better. I feel better now than before I got diagnosed. Go figure. So, oh wow. And I'm just disgusted at all these coons. All these coons like Dickie Smiley and all these fake rappers. Who out here is voting for Kamala? Can I see? And by the way, like this, share this. Can you guys like and share it? Hello to the 4 over here. Who's a 4? They don't let you know. How many of you are in here? I see Reparations Nation. How you doing? B1 to you, Reparations Nation. Slim Bigham, thank you. God bless you. Mactical, I don't know, but I guess welcome. We're just trying to get a message out. And sitting on this thing is hard. Woo. Let me see, I'm still backstage waiting. He's scuffling, but let's see. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. How many of you guys are going to vote for Kamala Harris? Talk to me, somebody who out here thinks Kamala's going to win. I'm going to ask you guys again. I'm trying to interact with y'all. Y'all not interacting with me. Who thinks Kamala?
Hit that like button and share this stream if you're not with this. Somebody get rolling, Martin. We gonna get let's put a neck on layaway for this. This has no neck.
I hope not either, Reparations Nation.
Welcome to TV One. Welcome to TV One. Paula Dean. That's all, folks.
All right, well, welcome to the Black Manosphere 2023. I am Jason Brown, one of the coordinators. And as you can see, we have the men here. They're working, they're networking, they're building relationships. Just got done with our second IT session. Yeah, what you see today here is a group of men from different backgrounds, economic locations coming together for unity to empower men of color, black men specifically, and to encourage them to be the best version of themselves, to challenge themselves, and also to build a form of brotherhood. Me personally, as one of the speakers, it was a privilege to talk to men about how to dress appropriately. Now that they've taken the steps to improve themselves, they also have to present themselves because we know our ethnic image is extremely important. We want to catch you next year. It's 2024 Houston Black Manosphere event. Definitely come out. We're sold out here. Standing room only. Virtual. We still have a lot of guys in the virtual. I love the excellence on these black men. I love the unity. I love the fraternizing that's happening, the building relationships and networking. So come on out and see us next year. Black Manosphere Conclave 2024, Houston, Texas. Peace.
Stage 4 is just a number. It can too be treated. That's to scare people. I'm not going to be scared, okay? Life is rough enough being black. I believe God. I trust in God. I've survived what? Septicemia, severe sepsis, heart attack, deadly double pneumonia, drowning. I'm not afraid.
And I'm here to officiate this rap battle. Your wife is a thought, and she used to pose nude.
Well, Big Mike, your wife is a dude.
January 6th caused a violent insurrection.
Well, that's because they stole my election.
I asked Melania, you can't get an erection.
You want to take away our guns, but you still have protection.
That rat on your head is a wig. Who you fooling? You're orange like a Cheeto when you're connected to Putin. You're like Dennis Rodman. I'm more like MJ.
You had the worst economy, probably in decades.
Overweight, out of shape, literally dead weight.
Who the hell are you talking to? I know you skipped leg day.
A racist, a traitor, the KKK defend you.
Well, you're not American, Obama. You're from Kenya. You left the border open. Economy was broken. I bet that you were on the island. Everybody knows it.
Under me, there was less division and more unity.
The first black president hated the black community. You working with the feds, wiretapping people's phones. We all know that you killing innocent kids with drones.
You're a fake politician. You're an actor. You're a fraud.
Well, at least I don't worship government over God.
You didn't pay your taxes. I'm loved by the masses.
Maybe the upper classes housing market collapses.
Rappers rapped about me. I'm cool in the trap house.
Trap house, Obama? Don't you mean bathhouse? Plus, they were rapping about me when you were a senator. I'm like Chris Hansen. I'm about to catch a predator.
You said there were good people. On both sides.
That was out of context. The fake news went and lied.
You dropped the ball with COVID, and no one is surprised.
You spent trillions in the Middle East and tons of people died.
Obama phone, Obamacare, I care about the poor.
I'm the first president to start no new wars.
You're guilty of collusion, nor in the Constitution. I'm a two-time winner. I don't know about losing.
You created feminists. You funded terrorists. Your chef was dead in your backyard and no one questioned it. Spied on my campaign. You and Bush crashed planes. Me, I give ordinary citizens a tax break.
Barack Obama did a great job, and so did Ronald Trump. What do you think won? Comment in the radio box down below.
New man, same old grind, gonna fight till the day I die with my chin up in my fist held high, gonna fight till the day that I die.
No dawn, no era. I ain't a saint, no, I'm something much rarer. I speak facts, I spit truth. I stand tall after all I've been through. I could have bowed out, I could have given in. Instead I bounce back, my rise is imminent. There's no breaking my stride, to the top I'll climb. With my fist held high, with my fist held high.
New man, same old grind, gonna fight till the day I die with my chin up in my fist held high, gonna fight till the day that I die.
Red tie, white collar, blue skies, got 'em raining green dollars. JD, my MVVP, we bout to show you how it's done, no CAP. I could have bowed out, I could have given in. Instead I bounce back, my rise is imminent. There's no breaking my stride, to the top I'll climb. With my fist held high, with my fist held high.
New man, same old grind, gonna fight till the day I die with my chin up in my fist held high, gonna fight till the day that I die. New man, same old grind, gonna fight till the day I die.
I don't know why it's so much music.
Gonna fight till the day that I die.
With my fist held high, with my fist held high. With my fist held high, with my fist held high.
I am Pamela Harris. My pronouns are she and her. I am a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit. And,
Okay. First, fuck Big Mike and that dick that hang. West Palm, nigga, Mar-a-Lago, where's the gang? Locked up, tons of black fathers, that's a fact. I'll let Joe Biden say it though. You ain't.
I'm going to wait for this damn music to stop. I'm going to end up getting strikes on my platform over the music. They're really petty. They act as if you're stealing someone's music. I'm waiting for them to come live. And if they hear someone else's music, they'll think I'm stealing someone's music. Not even trying to steal anything. That person's, I'm waiting for this shit to finish. I can't wait, y'all. We're going to change platforms. Yeah, anti-parasitic, I'm not surprised. But the person that asked, Darren Hanshaw, I put the name of this, it's a mushroom called Usnea. It's an excellent thing, man. It's an excellent thing. And I'm going to wait for him to, he put this long music thing on here. I'll simply wait until that's over. Yeah. You're playing music. If there's music, they're going to give me strikes on my platform. So I'm waiting for the music to finish. Right. Right. Now see, that was stupid. You're bitching about strikes on your channel. And you playing music when we're supposed to be talking. Okay, I'm not the one that's wrong here. Watch me get a strike for this video. as if I'm trying to steal or make money off of somebody else's music, while all the black artists get cheated. Go figure. Go figure, guys. Go figure what's going on here. And they punished.
Tradition.
Okay.
If it ain't seven, it ain't kosher. Heaven and hell is what they told you. Real man put the strap down and we can toss 'em.
Yes. Well, so let me see. I can't wait until they're done with this music. It's too, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. You're doing too much.
How you doing, sir? What's going on, man? How you doing, buddy? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm trying to make certain that I'm going to get strikes for this video because there's music on it. They love to look for reasons, so you're telling me about your strikes. Someone played some music as we were doing that, and I get the strike like I'm trying to steal somebody's music. It is so despicable that you have racists, killers, people with porn, all that up on YouTube, and they're looking for something, but that's okay. YouTube is going out of business slowly. They've made a lot of people mad. You see they're laying off on laying people off at ABC, laying people off everywhere. Whole lot of
No,
folks.
I didn't know that. I didn't know
You did? Yeah. It's
No, I didn't know that.
well, no, a bunch of the asses need to get laid off. The stupid, lame stuff that they do. But anyway,
Right.
I'm ready
Yes,
for
sir.
you. Hmm.
Yeah. So the music I played yesterday, the artist that played that, he said you can stream it for free. You should be fine because I played it yesterday and I didn't have any issue with my channel. But I am sensitive to your channel. But you should be fine. But anyway, let's get to the core of the conversation. You live in D.C. You are a Washingtonian, and you understand the nature of politics, but also you understand the nature of the matrix. You and I, Doc, can talk from time to time back about politics. The bootleg, Kamala Harris is a bootleg.
Hmm.
And so, before we get deep into the conversation, tell the audience who you are, and tell them why you're so passionate about American politics and also Helen Woman's masculinity.
Well, I didn't catch the last part. You may want to pull your sound up some.
Can you hear me?
Give me as much sound as you can.
All right. So I'm saying, what would you say about Helen Woman's masculinity?
Oh, okay, wonderful. Okay,
Yes,
well,
sir.
let's start with the last one. In reality, there's only one proper line of thought, and that is heteronormative. That's norm. You know, to love is normal. To kill is abnormal. Like there's normal psychology and abnormal psychology.
Right.
If you're thinking in the lines of man and woman and procreation, or at least reciprocity between the sexes, that's normal. If you need somebody else's feces on your sheath to feel loved, or you need to eat feces or whatever else you're doing, this is not normal. You might do it, it might feel good to you, but it is not normal. So, in reality, we shouldn't have any discussion other than what's best. You know, it's like You don't sit up talking about all the people that you're mad at that you want to kill. If you did, people think something's wrong with you, because killing and hurting people is not seen as normal. Why do we have a cheerleading lobby section for people that are doing things that hurt themselves and others that isn't normative? That's one. And then two, you said Washington. I'm from here. Not everybody in D.C. pays attention. There are large numbers of black Washingtonians that have never been to the Capitol, don't go to the White House. They stay away from downtown because there's lots of foreigners and tourists and people who don't care. I mean, you wouldn't believe how many people. You've got federal Washington, which is white, powerful Washington, and international Washington. And then
Right.
you have an ever diminishing black Washington. And that's how it is. Now, my interest, I guess, in, I don't know, my interest is in people. Okay, if you're my age, I'm just under 60. You can remember Dr. King getting killed. You can remember the soldiers with machine guns and tanks, and people getting shot and killed. You can remember the protests from Vietnam. So it's very hard in Washington, if you're halfway interested in what goes on with people, not to be aware of politics. Okay, so you're very much, it's, I guess, bullshit and politics are the products of DC. It doesn't make anything else. There's no real industry here other than crap, political crap and scandals and so forth. That's what you get from Washington.
Right. I'm sorry, go ahead, Doc. Go ahead.
And so last piece is that I was talking to a Uber driver who turned out to be a neighbor. How would I describe me? I'm a preacher's son, son of two ministers, Pentecostal apostolic background, and it come from what, kings and queens, African and European, and actually Mesoamerican. My folks are both African, Scottish, Danish, whatever. It's a lot. In a nutshell, I'm an Omni-American, black man, and I guess reasonably educated, reasonably world traveled, and I don't know, highly opinionated but well informed. That's the best way to do that. And
Well, let's go back, Doc, and look. You know, you are a very educated man. You matriculated at Howard University and also Harvard. You know about Washington politics and even some of the politicians now. What is your great consternation about some of the power brokers in power? The title to the bottom said Kamala the Bootleg Indian and Puppet Master. And so the title is called Abomination because the politics that we have currently is an abomination. But it also appears that Kamala Harris is a Trojan horse of Barack Obama.
right.
What would you say about that sentiment and the politics of not only the Boule Buff class, but also of the current state that we're in right now?
Okay, that's a lot to do. That's three things versus one. Barack Obama, the Clintons, the Kennedys, the Pelosi's, the Schumers, and the Clintons, the Kennedys, the Clintons, the Obamas, the Schumers, and the Pelosi's, are at least key political families that are super strong, that are dominant in the Democratic Party. How that happens is when a person either serves a long time, they either have a lot of sons and daughters, political people that they help bring into it, or if they're like Obama or the Clintons, they gave a lot of jobs to people that owe them favors. That's
Right.
within the political party, that's within various court systems, state systems, federal systems. So they have people and they are able to, on a national basis, force things. The Kennedys have things as well. and people often strong in a particular state. In the case of Obama, he's plugged into the billionaire Hilton fortune, the Pritzkers. So he's strong in Illinois, a major state. In fact, Illinois' capital is, Chicago is the capital of the Democratic Party. So Obama's literally in the heart of the Democratic Party. The brain of the Democratic Party is New England, in particular, the Boston area, where the Kennedys are strong. The Clintons are strong in the Middle South, and there's like a fealty among New South Democrats to the Clintons, right? Schumer represents a Jewish strain, which is strong, and the Pelosi's represent the Catholic thing. And I should have said, let me be clear. The Kennedys are Catholics, they're Irish Catholics. Pelosi is with the other ethnic Catholics. The same way she's an Italian that married another Italian, that are connected in California to the Getty billionaire family. So, the Kennedys are super rich. The Clintons have gotten richer. They're probably the brokest of the people that I mentioned. But Obama, having 8 years and managed to leave office without any of his filth catching up with him, has an intact reputation. And what he has done is through helping Biden win, who wasn't prepared or able to be president in the first place. He wasn't, Biden has been a screw up. He's been a spaz. He's been a dork, an embarrassment for decades, that Obama has been able to manage Biden along with his wife and others. So Biden came in, and you have to understand that there's a relationship between Biden and Obama. And let me just help you. Obama is alleged to have had a homosexual relationship with Larry Sinclair. I believe he's a Jewish man who now lives in Florida. When Larry Sinclair in July of 2008, wow, 16 years ago, is it 16? Yeah, 16 years ago, just over 16 years ago, when Larry Sinclair was trying to expose Barack Obama for doing drugs with him and having sex with him, and possibly having something to do with having a couple of other black men that he was involved with allegedly killed. He tried to do a press conference at the National Press Club, which he did, and before the story could get big, Joe Biden Jr., aka Beau Biden, illegally and unlawfully arrested, basically kidnapped. He did a false arrest and picked up Larry Sinclair over on 13th, about 13th and F Streets Northwest, and took him and threw him in jail in Delaware, crossing the state line of the District of Columbia, although it's not a state. He crossed into Maryland, and then he crossed two state lines unlawfully and put the man in jail for supposedly passing a bad check. That kept the mainstream press from talking to Larry Sinclair, which saved Obama, because this was just weeks before the Democratic Party National Convention, where Obama, would have been, named the official nominee of the party. So Obama owed Joe Biden a favor for his son, more or less helping to protect his candidacy. Most people don't know that, and in an email that I had with Jeremiah Wright, Obama's former pastor at Trinity United Church of Christ in Chicago, I told Jeremiah Wright that Obama was going to do the eulogy for Beau Biden before the funeral was televised. Now, how the hell would I know that Obama was going to eulogize Beau Biden? I'm not in their circle. But I know Obama owes his political career to Joe Biden Jr. silencing the gay dude that had the goods on Obama. So the Bidens and the Obamas have a special relationship. They wouldn't have gotten where they were without each other. And by the way, Joe Biden had disgraced himself, lying and plagiarizing and making false claims, running for president in 1988. He did a bunch of stuff, got embarrassed. He's been messing up for a long time. Obama making him as vice president, to me, in part for reward, because Joe Biden was tight with all the racists. He was with the racists in the Republican and the Democratic Party, and because he helped cover up this potential homosexual scandal that Obama faced. That allowed Joe Biden to finally get his sorry dementia-riven behind in the White House. And out of that, Obama looked the other way as the Biden family grifted and made millions of dollars influence peddling, for which they all should be in jail or at least prosecuted, the same way that what's happening to Trump. So, and now that Biden's son, Beau Biden, died in 2015, when Obama gave the eulogy, he died of cancer. Hunter Biden is allegedly a pedophile, definitely a known drug addict and a grifter. One of the daughters of Biden is a nymphomaniac and a drug addict. So the Bidens don't really have people that are close to them that the father can really lean on, other than the wife, who looks like Alice Cooper in drag without the ugly makeup. Obama therefore put all the people in, and the people who are running the Biden White House and everything else are the same people that Obama had. You'll find that what tends to happen is that a lot of the times the same people get recycled over and over and over and over again. The people that Obama brought in are the people that are now the people that are not elected, that you don't see, that make things work. Okay, these are the people that are Obama's people, not Biden's people. Okay, and as a result, Obama has always had a lot of control. And Obama, people don't recognize this, Obama is an honorary member of the Jewish community to many Jews. And there's a heavy Zionist Jewish thing. The liberal wing of Jews favor people. They, both Biden and Obama share this. The Pritzkers, it's one of the female Pritzkers who's Jewish and rich that decided Obama should be president.
Doc, hold on for a minute. Hold your point, Doc. Hold your point. Doc, to my man Gregory Scholar, he said we are at the point where we have to wake up and realize too many black women and chameleon women are not our friends. The election cycle has shown us a bad character traits of many of these females. I don't want you to lose your train of thought, Doc. Keep your train of thought in mind. But I don't know if you heard about the story in lieu of your train of thought about how there were women of the Divine Nine that were more or less saying they wanted this woman in the White House because she was an AKA. And they were putting, the women were actually putting her above the men in the group. What do you say about this nonsense that people should vote for Kamala Harris because she's an AKA?
Well,
in lieu of your frame of thought. Go ahead.
I'm not going to keep my frame of thought because you interject something in, so it throws it off. Plus, there were 3 questions. Do you see how that is? So right. I'm a person, not a machine. So, breaking the thought there. Why wouldn't they put a woman first? These are, a lot of them are lesbian feminists, and they're Jezebel type folks, and they've always done this. They put killing babies over the black community surviving. There's nothing new about castrating black men and putting them last. This has always been part of a system where a significant number of our women are hyper masculine and weaponized against black men and black children. And a lot of these women don't have children. A lot of these women are not married. A lot of these women are bisexual, and a lot of these women hate black men. So this makes perfect sense. And, you know, a lot of people suspect that Kamala Harris probably did some female homoerotic stuff to get through. You know that the AKA sorority was started by lesbians. So, I mean, let's not play games here. So, of course, they're into female supremacy. They care nothing about black freedom or black men or black women. They don't care about the rank and file. They never have. This is about them and their little small groups. This is what the Boule does. And it's the silly black men in these secret societies who think running behind women shows that they're enlightened. In reality, they look like the castrated, switch-hitting wimps that many of them are.
No, Doc, shout out to my man Mujahid for that 3. I appreciate it, Doc. This person said, come on there, the 8-pack is crushing. All those progressive women, there are no female black senators elected in office. How would you respond to that, Doc?
Kamala Harris was a progressive woman in the Senate. She got kicked upstairs.
What do you mean kicked upstairs?
She got, I mean, in other words, I mean, these same women, these same strange women, I know one of them, I hope she sees that she doesn't like me. I dare her mess with me. I'm going to start talking about how she really got her husband. Okay, I dare her. Anyway, Joe Biden was threatened by a bunch of Delta Sigma Theta and other Greek letter Boule sisters that he had to pick a black woman as vice president or they weren't going to support him. And of course, Joe Biden picked the non-black American, picked a woman that wasn't a black American as the vice presidential candidate. And that's how you got Kamala. That was him giving a finger to the same black women that are telling us to vote for the woman that represents Biden, fingering them. But, you know, it's the same way. I'll tell you, a lot of black women do politics like they pick men. They don't do well at all. They'd be better off with arranged marriages than trying to guess.
Right. You know, one will argue, Doctor, we are at a crisis. We are going through what's called an existentialist crisis.
We've been in an existentialist crisis for hundreds of years.
Right. But in this current nexus that we have, let's say it's been magnified even more. Are there any core talking points in this current existentialist crisis that have been permeating for years that you would like to talk about that's going to be a point of discussion if we don't change the course that we're in right now?
Well, we're in slow genocide. It will be accelerated genocide if Kamala Harris wins. It's real simple. Black people have to pick God and national salvation or Satan and national genocide. Right now, the Boule is leading us to race suicide. And because we look at nice clothes, cars, houses, access, we think these people care about us, and yet they show us with no tangibles, with nothing that they don't care. They support, in fact, they run around and call the mass killing of black children health care. If you look at them, these Divine Nine people, there's not one major crisis, homelessness, people losing their property, poor schools. There's not one issue that's important to black people that they've rallied for like they have for this Indian whore that hates black men's guts and likes killing black babies.
Interesting. You talk about a lot about, Angela Stanton King, right? You know her, right? We're going to get into that in a minute.
I've met her. It's not like I want to talk about her long. I'm going to say this of Angela.
Okay.
Angela's not related to the King family.
Mm-hmm.
And Angela, to me, her politics are driven by her bottom line. And that's all I'm going to say on that.
Okay, all right, yeah, I have some clips I wanted to show you, but we'll if you don't want to talk about it.
No, I've answered it. It's a bottom line person. They're not a biological relative to the King family. If people can't figure out what I just said, later for them. Your sound isn't good, so I didn't get. Sounds still bad. Now I can hear you.
Okay, cool. All right. So let's get. I'm gonna get back on top. So there are a lot of things that are going on in the current economics, but not only economic landscape, but also in politics. You're talking about the economic suicide that's going to continue to happen if black folks don't turn the tide. And I'm sure you support Donald Trump, though, like a lot of black men support Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. What do you think is the impetus for why so many black men support Trump, in your opinion?
Because Donald Trump is a businessman more so than a politician. Donald Trump is talking about real stuff. The Democrats aren't talking about economics. They're talking about hacking off boys' penises, stitching up girls' vaginas, hacking off their breasts, killing babies, pronouns, legalizing pedophilia, forcing people in Africa to kill babies and be gay. They're not talking. They provide services and tangibles to every other people but ours, the Democrats. Okay, with black folks and the Boule and the Greek letter groups and the Masons leading the charge, all the while collecting and getting money, because you know the Divine Nine, all the black Greek, or I call them divine swine, are all getting money from the Small Business Association and other government agencies. The reason that you see them screaming and crying so loud is that hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars, have gone to black Greeks while black people have starved the last 4 years. They don't care. They haven't shared. They set up not-for-profits, don't help anybody, put the money in their own pockets, and they're being paid. They're being paid to get us to vote yet once again, for them to get, and basically 90% of the money that comes to the black community goes to 10-15% of black people. The other 90% of us fight over what's left. They've never been interested in sharing. They don't even trickle down like the white people do. And they are, in reality, the black elite is an appendage of the Democratic Party. They're not really a part of black people. They masquerade as in the interest of black people to get us to vote for the people they tell us to, for them to validate to white people that they are what they say they are. Voting for Trump is the best way to give a finger to our traitor elites, to our turncoats, to our coons. Donald Trump looked out more for black people than he did for the illegals. Biden and them have done everything. They've flown illegal criminals, murderers into the country, given them money, cars, apartments, food, educational training, vocational training, and have denied that to even black veterans, to black seniors. This is going on right now. This is an economic war. And Joe Biden told those lying, degenerate, homoerotic, AIDS-infected, Luciferian Greeks, y'all got to get behind the Hispanics. Y'all got to learn how to get along with them. Joe Biden, knowing full well that all the Latin American countries that black people are in a caste system, they're mass murdered, they're poor, they're dirty, they have nothing. When these people come here from Latin America and see black people with nice homes and cars, it's culture shock. It's just like poor white people. They want to take it away from us, and they do. And they've done it in Los Angeles, they've done it in Miami, and they'll do it in Chicago, and black people will be wiped out at the hands of people in the National Congress of Black Churches, the National Panhellenic Council, aka the Boule, the Greek letter organizations, the Prince Hall Masons, the black trade unionists, and everybody else, and the black folks fighting for so-called reproductive rights, black feminists, black gays, are all working to exterminate black people for the benefit of their small groups, and they're being paid well. And this has been shown with the jab It's been shown with them getting us to go behind Obama, who had 8 years and didn't give one thing to us except for mass acceptance of homosexuality, baby killing, and sexual confusion. That's what we've gotten from these people. That's why black men thinking, saying, you know, I can't eat sodomy. Sodomy won't pay for me to get a roof over my head, right? There's no real tangible thing that you can sink your teeth into. Jews get billions of dollars for Israel. Ukrainians get money for Ukraine. All these people, everybody gets something from the U.S. government except for black people. Again, what they offer us is abortion, condoms, right? Marijuana legalized, which is probably weaponized to kill us. We don't get anything. And so the Trump lit thousands of blacks out of jail. Trump had a platinum plan to put close to $1 trillion in black communities, right? And you know who never told the black community? People like that wicked, deviant, Luciferian jack-o'-lantern, Roland Martin. These people have platforms. They never ever said, okay, this is Biden, this is Trump, these are your options. They make it seem if you vote for Trump, black people will be exterminated. Well, black people have been dying in droves. They've been dying from all this medication. They've been dying from being homeless. They're dying for want of food. They're getting killed. They're getting raped. They're being displaced. And this has happened with Joe Biden, the mass incarcerator. He is our version of Adolf Hitler, and they've made him out to be Jesus. He doesn't even know who he is. This is what a lot of black men see, and a lot of black men, I have to say the name of one great black man, in spite of him being in a Greek letter organization, the most important black man that's emerged in our community was Kevin Samuels, that taught a lot of black men just because you needed some pussy, you could be a man and tell women no, and you could have standards. And that standard could extend to politics, to economics, to money, to socioeconomic advancement. So there's a new manhood among black men who've rediscovered themselves through the holy prophet of black manhood, Kevin Samuels.
The crisis of black boys and black men. When I was in school, I actually taught, and I don't know if you know Dr. Jawan's Conjufu. Shout out to also MC Recovery and Wellness for that 5 and Mujahid. But the school to prison pipeline was a lot of my seminal work when I was in school. The school to prison pipeline, and you're talking about many people up here that don't really care about boys and men. What are you seeing in DC when it comes down to the efficacy of boys and men? You can't hear me?
Can you do your questions in pieces? You give a stream of questions. It will seem as if I'm not listening.
All right, okay, I got you, man. What is your perspective about the efficacy of boys and men? Did you get that?
Yes. It's real simple, and I can answer it as a whole. The real issue with the whole thing of boys and men, frankly, is the issue of what I call pork chop feminism. This is ghetto rebellion, Jezebel, black feminism, which is basically a lesbian conspiracy with white women to kill black babies and kill the black family as black female liberation. And who runs the schools where the black kids don't learn? Women from the Greek letter in particular, all the black Greek women, they're the ones that run the schools. The more powerful the Greeks have gotten in our community, the less our children have learned. In fact, it's coincided. The AKAs and the Deltas and the Zetas and the others run the education, and they don't care. So the schools, wherever black folks are learning, it's folks from those sororities not doing their job. Not only that, they're the same women that have been working alongside white supremacy to destroy and castrate the black man, trivialize real motherhood and taking care of children. That's some kind of slavery. So these black women have called for the abandonment of the home. This has happened. The destruction of the black youth, in particular black male youth, has been on the watch of educated, professional black feminists. Potentially, I call them proto-lesbian women, have betrayed black people in the name of them working a job, possibly sucking on the penises of their white supervisors, male and female. And that's what's been going on. And it's black, these black women, these elite so-called educated type have betrayed our race. They betrayed these younger generations. They're criminal. That's what's happened. They've driven the black men out of the family as prosecutors. They put them in jail. You know, Palestinian women advocate for Palestinian men to get out of jail. Black women walk the street bitching about the man shortage, but where's their movement to get them out? Where's the movement for the people who return home to get jobs? They haven't done that. Those same Greek letter type women in Congress have fought for illegals and for Asian Pacifics and for everybody, gays, to get things, but they haven't ever done it for black men. And these same women can sit up and listen every year there's an election cycle. They sit up and get masturbated by the mainstream media that tells them how wonderful and great black women are, and they never say black men vote too.
Right.
Latino women, no other group of women would tolerate you excluding the men, because frankly, there's a problem in our community. Black women hate God, and they see God in the black man, and they hate him too. And they hate God in children. There is a hatred of life that is commonplace, and they breed children, male and female, that hate life, and this is why you have so much violence and killing and suicidality. And they pick men that hate women. They don't pick men that love women, because they may have to be loyal and obedient and, yes, submissive to a man like they're supposed to. Our women are out of order. And this is why, I mean, you know, our community is at war. The men are on the front line and the women are the home army back there. If they stop doing their job, the men can't hold it. Black women have abandoned their posts. They're AWOL. They are disloyal. And in other communities, when you have this kind of problem, women pay a price. The sad thing is, most black men are basically, they have a sodomite mind, even if they're heterosexually attracted. Physically, they may be attracted to women, but they see life like a sodomite ally of women. They're anti-black men. Black men also are trained to hate each other. We have a lot. Black men hate each other way more than they hate white racist killers or cops. That's proof by, you'll never see a white violent killer policeman shot and killed. You will only see black folks massacre each other who've practically done nothing. And the problem is, women should not run the show. Women are supposed to cooperate with men that run it, not try to take over. It's out of their place.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. And it's sadly, you know, I've never in my life seen a time where we are at a crossroad and people are more concerned about a tokenism and power instead of being concerned about the black community.
But let's be honest, one of the biggest things that people like as tokens are all the women that buy plastic and wooden penises. Tokens is what they're all about. I don't need a man, but I need a token of what a man has.
Right. Hold tight. You've been talking about, you talk a lot about they don't care about black boys. They don't care about black boys and men. I saw when I taught school, you know, you an adult, the people can raise millions of dollars to put a token in office. They can raise money. They can raise money to advocate for black boys and men.
Let's pause for a second.
Go ahead, man.
It's seen as an atrocity overseas in China or India, where they abort girls because girls aren't seen as valuable as boys. Black Americans are unique. Black boys are targeted for abortion by black women because black men are seen as worthless. Black men ain't shit is common parlance. So black boys are worthless. I have seen mothers literally put their boys out to sell dope to take care of them. They didn't want an adult man because they didn't want to do what he said. So they pimp out their sons. Sometimes people have sex with their sons, have their sons sell dope, have their sons gangbang. I don't know where this $100,000 under this mattress came from. It's because we have some very wicked women in our community. Along with the wicked men, they'll find a wicked man that's no good, that's a sorry wastrel to make bastards with. And we stopped using that word. Bastard needs to come back. It made mothers feel bad. We're always walking on eggshells around people's crap in the black community.
I agree. I agree with that. I agree. That is very true. I agree with you 100%, man. Shout out to my man, Do the Fire Podcast. He said, excellent message. And shout out to everyone that's coming in. Doc, I'm going to show you something real quick. And this more or less proves our point and proves what we're talking about when it comes down to some of these bootleg buffer classes. Hold on for a minute.
Some black men are expressing voting for her, and then you have other black men who are not. We talked about that extensively in video on my channel. Black men are turning their back on Kamala Harris. If such is the case for a brother like this,
I need to get you.
Dear black men, please remain strong. There's going to be a pressure on us to vote Democratic and for us to endorse Kamala Harris. Do not fall for the symbolism, do not fall for the tucks and curls. As black men, our vote is highly needed. And there's already talk about black men can't be trusted to vote for Kamala Harris. Well, you're exactly right. We're not falling for we're not black if we don't vote for Joe Biden. We're going to logically make an informed decision. Kamala Harris has already went on record saying she would not pass any bills or laws that would directly benefit African Americans. So black men, let's be very careful. Let's be able to deal with the criticism. Let's be able to deal with being called sellouts. Let's be able to deal with being called racist. But right now, the Democratic Party needs our vote for Kamala Harris to be president. And they're already saying we can't be trusted. Well, you're right. We can't be trusted. We're going to make an informed decision. Kamala Harris, sit down. What are you willing to do for the black race other than falsely represent us as a black woman with tucks and pearls in your sorority? Black men, it's going to get hard. We are under attack. But we must remain strong.
Harris is not the answer. Look at session. Harris is not the answer. Look at session.
Mean to tell me that the possible first black female president, her primary message, her platform is to promote the very thing that was meant to wipe out our race. That's what she's running on?
what do you mean by that?
The law to restore those freedoms, I will sign it into law.
1 Kamala, 2 Kamala, 3 Kamala, whoa. Which candidate you endorse? Fried chicken, the jerk sauce. Chopsticks, the rice off. President is on the menu. Now you got some black in you. Willie Brown, see that's irrelevant. Montel Williams said you were celibate.
Yes, I know. There needs to be outreach and inclusion.
And certainly you could become the first Indian senator in U.S. history, which would be quite an accomplishment.
Not good.
You could become the first Indian senator in U.S. history, which would be quite an accomplishment.
Not good.
First Indian vice president.
Yes, I know.
And saw black women's intelligence. She's not like us. Where's your lineage? Half Jamaican and half Indian. Around us, she black pretendian.
Yes, I know.
Tulsi Gabbard had you fidgeting.
Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana.
Have you ever smoked?
I have. And I inhaled. I did inhale.
And she kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California.
You actually locked anybody up?
No, we never locked anybody up.
Lying ass bitch. Sister girl, she repositioning. All the black men in prison them. What about Patrice Richardson? Black man on death row found innocent. You fake as a pink iguana. You the female version Obama.
Yes, I know.
Making Snoop blow marijuana. You take after your white mama.
Yes, I know.
You'll have white Jamaican father.
Yes, I know.
Celebrating Kwanzaa.
Every year, our family and our extended family, we would gather around.
We celebrating the Kwanzaa.
Yes, I know.
All the black women support you. They projecting, this is why they endorse you.
Yes, I know.
Their self-worth is cracked. Identify what you know and you ain't black. Only reason to vote, you saying that. Say the hell with your people, it's all cap.
Yes, I know.
Reparations, you heard her, she like, aw. Give something only to black people.
No,
Aw.
so I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No.
The 44,000 of
are
y'all. Short the 42 million who didn't call. What I'm
Okay.
saying, it's all facts.
Democrats do not want to talk about Kamala Harris' policies. This is a rabbit hole. They want to play the race card to distract. I'm voting for Trump because I want a secure border. I want low prices. I don't like inflation. On the other hand,
Hurry
you
up
got
and
Kamala
get to
Harris,
this
Edward,
music.
who wants open border, who wants to eliminate ICE, who compares ICE with the KKK. I don't like those policies, but they insult the intelligence of every black American because they're asking black Americans to vote based on skin color.
Don't give them nothing, just tell her Huskin is black.
Now,
You
listen.
ain't black.
You need to
Kamala,
go to music. You're doing fine.
Huskin is black. You ain't black. Huskin is black. Huskin is black. Huskin is black. You ain't black. One Kamala, two Kamala, three Kamala, whoa. You don't support us, we don't vote. We stand on business and we slow.
Don't do this. Why are you doing so much music? Why so much damn music?
Fried chicken and jerk sauce. Chopsticks to
All right, man. I'm gonna say that's more of a parody a little bit. That's more of a parody.
I
but at
thought
the
you
same
were going to
time-
do a video clip. You do a lot of music that actually takes away from the discussion, honestly. I mean, so you said a clip, and then it's a bunch of music. It threw people off.
Yeah, but that's part of my show. That's how I run my show.
Yeah.
That's how I run my show. But
But tell
anyway,
me it's music. If it's music, it's music. If it's a video clip, it's a video clip. I'm just
okay,
being direct with you, brother.
But that's fine, Doc. Once
Okay,
again,
all right.
It's copyright music. You ain't got to worry. It's my own personal music. So you don't have to be worried about.
No, I'm
music
not
back
worried
then.
about that. It throws off my thought. The music throws off my thought,
Okay,
right?
all right, Doc. I get it, man. We good?
Right.
That's fine. We
Yeah.
good. All right, brother. All right. So anyway, as I was saying earlier, you said a lot about the current state that we're in. You talked about a lot about how black people or black women sell black men under the bus. They sell children under the bus, and it's causing a lot of problems in the black community. When you look at the broader black community, when you look at black people in general, record high inflation, immigrants, and it appears that some black women, not all, are more concerned about tokenism instead of true power, which is black families and black communities. How would you respond to that?
Well, I need to correct you. When you come into the country without a legal process, you're not an immigrant. That's an invader, or that's an undocumented alien. That's not an immigrant. We need to call it what it is. That is an invasion. And God forbid, when we have an American military base get attacked in San Antonio, Texas yesterday by they don't know who, that is an invasion. And it's obscene for these people to be called immigrants. And yet, when black folks were starving in New Orleans, they were called contraband when they were trying to eat. Okay, why so much understanding for people who don't belong here? Where the language is even deceived and manipulated to justify people who have no business here, who've come to replace us, if not, and through violence. And we call them immigrants. It's a lie. So illegals and this abortion, this other stuff, of course. Look, the problem with black women is the same problem with the boule. Black men have no standards. We have no system of disciplining. We need to punish the women that are out of order. If there was a black man, like the black man in New York, who took a lasso, he was from Belize, and he lassoed a woman and raped her, the men in the community went out to kill this man. The police had to save him. And there was another instance in New York where a man in a wheelchair did something. shot a woman and they were going to kill him. When men do something wrong, on the rare occasions that you get, they can be punished. Black men have no morality that they stick to when it comes to women. You have a vagina, you can't do anything wrong because everyone wants to slide in there. You destroy the character of a woman when you tell her, if you have a pussy, you don't have to pay just whatever you want. I'm going to give you an apartment. You don't have to get married because you have a pussy, you're a queen. We black men have contributed to our own destruction by having no standards for women. So when a woman has 8 kids by 10 different guys, we don't call her a whore. Well, she's a struggling woman. No, she's a hoe that has a bunch of bastards. And we also don't come down on the men that enable this. So the women, as foul as many of them are, they're backed up by legions of sorry, pathetic, pussy-pandling black men that think constantly groveling and praising women for what they aren't and what they are not. You're not beautiful when you weigh 400 pounds wearing spandex. You're a cardiovascular disaster. Start being honest with people. We've ruined our women by not holding them to a standard. You know what? You can have a woman weigh 900 pounds with 50 bastards that wants a man to have a very good job, and he has to have like a washboard abs, and she can't find clothes in her size at a yacht sale store because she's got no standards. And you know what? Typically, we men have not, because that's not cool. And I can get with the woman that has kids by other men. Bull. Why are you trying to be somebody else's sex trophy understudy? It is black men who have refused to have standards. So our women have come up in a culture where the men expect nothing. You tell the woman, oh, you're great, you're perfect, you're wonderful. Just because you have a vagina, you're God. And at the same time, the other black men, we don't like each other because black straight men hate other straight black men because the only thing that I think they feel they can accomplish is they can fornicate. And so every other straight black man is an enemy. Not racist illegals, not racist police, but another black dude, he's your enemy because he may want the same person, which is why the second leading cause of death for black men is fighting over women as if there's a woman shortage. So our women are conditioned and reinforced, and they're also getting this feminist influence. Our women are going to be disasters because we men fuel it, and then black women fuel it, and then racist white society, and racism is a team sport. White men and white women do it, and then all the other honorary whites do it too. And it's up to black men who got their heads together to have a regime change. We need a coup in black America where the black folks that get it take over, and we don't want to hear, I don't care about emotions. A bastard is a bastard. You know, I had an argument with a woman minister, and she says, I don't like the word bastard, and I says, the Bible uses it. You say you believe in the Bible. The Bible recognizes bastard. If you're not an apostate, you recognize the existence of bastards too. And see, when you say bastard, that puts standards. We must have a regime change, and we have to stop glorifying black men. Just because you're heterosexual doesn't mean that you deserve some star on the Walk of Fame. You're supposed to be attracted to women. And what you're also supposed to do is man up and be a father, pick a righteous woman and make righteous children. And everything isn't about pleasure and busting a nut or popping your pussy. We're not there. The church ain't doing it. Nobody's doing this work because you know what? At the end of the day, too many of us have been trained to want to fit in, to go along, to get along, to be liked, to be popular. Whether it's being celebrities, whether it's being athletes, whether it's being preachers, we have this obsessive need, I know, because we're hated by others, to be liked. In reality, we need to be respected. In fact, feared.
All right. You talked on, well, I think on your show you were talking about this clown. What's his name? Ricky Smiley. I'm gonna look at this clown, Ricky Smiley. Hold on.
Game, talk about
Y'all better come get me on this radio today.
Come get him.
Hey, you keep going. You want to keep going, y'all? You want to keep it going?
They ain't gonna be mad at you today, Rick.
Hey, I don't care. Let's stop this. Stop So I want to talk about something before I talk about Ricky Smiley, Doc, real quick. And I came up with a couple of terms to talk about the effects of some of these buffer class Negroes. So I came up with some terminology. And in that terminology, I came up with a term called psychomorphology. And that's a fancy way of saying that many times politicians that are being bought out, as you talked about earlier, or some of these men like Ricky Smiley, they've been bought out. Psychomorphology is a term that I created. It's a study of politicking, it's political gaslighting, it's trauma hustling, race hustling, victim hustling, manipulation, and it's a form of Machiavellianism. I don't know if you remember when we were kids, you know, I might say, well, Doc, if you give me some money, we can go have fun. And then when it comes time to deliver, I say psych. And so basically what psychomorphology is psyching people with non-tangibles. Only when it comes time to deliver, they renege on it. What do you say about that?
They didn't offer anything with Biden. They reneged all the way around. They said just do it because Trump is a boogeyman, Trump is a racist, black people are going to be in concentration camps and picking cotton. They don't offer anything. They do black trauma porn, genocide porn, and that this is what you're going to get. They don't offer anything. They don't even do psych anymore. They used to do psych. Now it's just do it because I said so. In fact, that shows the influence of this pork chop feminism. Or I'm white and I said so. Now I'm a woman and I said so. Like pronouns. I say I'm a man, I say I'm a woman. Well, I'm a dog, I'm a camel. This kind of insanity is now in the black community because a lot of these folks, in particular, disproportionately sisters in college, going to white schools, picking up all this garbage, all of this postmodern garbage and bringing it back to the community, and they think it's real education. In reality, it's indoctrination. It's in fact, this is what they want. So the women are so, in fact, these women don't have children. They have the lowest fertility rate of any professional class of women in the world. We're talking about black American women. They're the ones that go to school and they're so smart and, oh, I'm a high earner and you know, if you're a black man, you go up to a sister and start talking about your education, they will shut you down flat. But those same women will come up and talk to a man about their education. And you better take it seriously. This whole thing has made these types of people completely irrational. And so, but they think they're special because they have smoke blown up their behinds by liberals and sometimes conservatives, and they come back to our community with all of these anti-black ideas masked in what sounds like new and advanced information. That's just another way of saying, get to the back of the bus, nigger.
All right, hold tight. All right, so let's level the list real quick. Shout out to my man Eric Burr for that $2 super chat. Appreciate it, guy. Thank you, sir.
I don't care about who get mad. I know I'm right. I know I'm right. Y'all need to stop. Do y'all realize Medgar Evers died for voting rights? All these people that have risked their lives from slavery up into the civil rights movement, just when we can have an opportunity to do what we do, to do what we can do. We ain't seen nothing like this since Barack Obama was running for president in 2008.
And he didn't do nothing for us.
Great John Lewis. Right.
Gay John Lewis.
Ralph Abernathy. You know, all of these people
That's
that
the
have paved the way
pedophile.
for us. We are the new civil rights leaders. We got to get behind people like Ben Crump and Kamala Harris and all these people.
All right. What's your take on what's his name?
Dickie. I call him Dick. I went to Howard with him. What I'll say of Ricky Smiley, and I don't care, you can tell everyone I said it, the Omega Psi-Phi fraternity, which I think he's a member of, they had a big scandal that was kept quiet largely, where a bunch of them were bisexual that had AIDS and they deliberately gave it to sisters. And if he was able, if I'm correct, to be a party to that, what he's doing now is benign to what they were doing as college foolishness in the 80s. That's what I say to him. If you can be for that garbage, you can be for Kamala, who went to Howard at the same time as Ricky Smiley. So this is some Greek stuff. They were all probably sleeping with each other, doing drugs together back in the day. And now this is their validation, all of these pre-Freaknik generation Greeks. Who cares about that? John Lewis was a closet gay, and they told him in Atlanta not to come out. Okay, I was at John Lewis's house back in 1996 for a fundraiser, and he and his wife had a fight because his wife thought I was a boyfriend of John Lewis. So John Lewis had a double life, and so John Lewis is a Sigma, by the way, who had a double life. Yes, he did. So they're talking about all these people. Ralph Abernathy, he's okay, but it's alleged he's a pedophile. But they're naming all these Greek people. Abernathy failed to lead the SCLC after Martin Luther King died. He was jealous of Dr. King and put out a book dogging Dr. King because I guess he's fat, dark, and ugly in his own mind and need to be bigger than Martin Luther King. Who remembers Ralph Abernathy? Okay, he was a failure. All these people are Greeks that they're running after. The one thing I'll say, he didn't mention Dr. King, who was kicked out of Alpha Phi Alpha for his activism. The issue isn't, Medgar Evers didn't die for black people voting. There was a list of 10 people that the white supremacists said that they were going to kill in Mississippi if they advocated for black rights. Medgar Evers was number 1 on the list of 10. The real reason, if you ask me, that Medgar Evers died is the NAACP, run by Greeks and whites, refused to afford protection to Medgar Evers. That's one of the reasons he got shot dead. He's by himself. They let him die. They didn't really want him. They fundraised off of Medgar Evers. It's a disgrace. Ricky Smiley is a typical, mediocre, smart but not intelligent black Greek that is connected, maybe because they did a little crazy sex and drug rituals and they've got some kind of bond. But he's not interesting to listen to. It sounds like he has something in his throat. I hope it's not male reproductive fluid. There's something wrong with him. He's not funny. He's not smart. He doesn't contribute anything to black people. And who cares? We're sick and tired of these people. Everywhere you look, it's the same type of shallow black people. What's his name? Not Gordon, but the guy, light-skinned dude that looked like a beluga whale that was on the radio for years, that everybody listened to. Come on. You listen to the black radio. He used to come on all the time. He's light-skinned. He looks strange, from Alabama. Come on, man. You don't know who I'm talking about. He had
you said from Alabama?
Tom Joyner. It's like these kind of people who never really did shit other than tell black people to vote Democratic and do dumb stuff, clowning. They didn't really build up the community. That is not the role of the Boule. The Boule is to keep us, to be Judas Goat's leaders, to lead us to the slaughter, and they survive. The Judas Goat, the sheep won't go in and get their heads cut off. They had to get a small hoofed animal that the sheep trust. So you get a Judas Goat. And what the Judas Goat does is it leads the sheep up to where their head will get cut off. And there's a little door that the goat cuts aside to, and the other sheep go into the slaughter. That is the role of the Boule. This is what Ricky is doing. This is what they're all doing. And in reality, the sick thing, the same way we're being asked to recognize Kamala Harris because she's got skin color, that she's black, we recognize the Boule as legit and black leadership and black success, and because they're brown, but they're not for us. Our crime is being shallow and not being substantive, and therefore we can be led by wicked people who are also shallow. The Bible says the blind leading the blind, they both end up in a ditch, and a ditch could be a mass grave, and that's where we're headed.
Well, we're definitely headed for a mass grave, but we don't stem the tide. I don't see us stemming the tide in this lifetime because, sadly, you got a lot of preachers that don't preach or amplify the gospel. They don't tell people the truth. And instead of being honest and being forthright and telling the truth, they continue to create the same chaos that they complain about.
Well, that's because the money is on chaos.
Right.
Look, black leadership, or what masquerades as black leadership, is problem maintenance, not problem solution. They're just like the doctors. They like when you have a chronic illness, they don't heal you. They keep you taking insulin instead of healing your diabetes. These people keep you black and miserable, and they help maintain you, keep giving you false hope that one day we're going to get just a really white liberal like Lincoln or Kennedy that love black people, and he's going to make everything, or there's going to be a black man or a black woman or someone. And they don't really, I mean, some of the stuff we could solve ourselves. You have to ask yourself why someone like you isn't head of an entire school district. Why I'm not. Why I'm not a principal or a teacher. And I need to tell you, it's all Boulay people. The mayor of D.C. is Boulay. I bet you the mayor of Baltimore is Boulay. I bet you the mayor of Baltimore is Boulay. And if they're not Boulay, they're run by them, or they're Prince Hall Mason, or the Eastern Star, or they're under the influence of them. These people are not for success. Black people being rescued and transformed would make their position irrelevant. Okay, it's like the hydrogen car. If you create hydrogen or water-powered cars, you destroy the oil and gas industry. They'll start killing people before that change. These people are basically parasites. They're like gigantic Afrocentric tapeworms inside of the black body, sucking us dry. And we're either going to have to take a wormer pill and have it fall out our behind like a dog, or we're going to die of malnutrition, and that's what's going on now.
You know, there are a lot of black men that are voting for, well, we talked about it in part, but a lot of black men resonate with Trump. Some would say that he's more or less like a maverick from yesterday, someone of the paragon of masculinity. Would you agree with that in part?
Well, if nothing else, Donald Trump, love him or hate him, Donald Trump fights for what at least he believes in for that moment. They haven't been able to break him. So he's like a white political John Henry. You got to give him his props. They've come after him. Of course, they've done everything to break him, and it hasn't quite worked.
Yeah, that part is true. He hasn't been broken. He can't be broken. He's a fighter, man. He's a warrior, and we need more black men like him. You grew up in church. You're the son of a pastor, I believe. And in your best estimate, what do you see lacking in the black church that was more prevalent maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago? Because I grew up in the church too. I was a superintendent. Well, what did you see back in the past with the black churches compared to now, in your opinion?
Well, what the black church definitely doesn't have now is God, period, or faith. I think years ago, at least there were people didn't have options. I mean, okay, I'm born the year after the Civil Rights Bill was passed. So I'd say that there's a degree, the further you get away from 1964, as black people had more and more options. It used to be there was nothing else you could do but be involved with church folks or go to black juke joints or something like that. You were limited. The black people integrated with white people. White people didn't integrate with us. And what white people will integrate blacks into is nothing that white people would want. Okay? So they'll let you move into a building and they'll paint it with lead paint. So you get lead paint poisoning, right? They'll bring you in, but you'll pay for forcing yourself on them. The black church has, in the Revelations, they talk about a thing called Nicolaitans. These were people that were cultic Christians, where the preachers were basically like kings. They were oppressive slave master kings over their congregations. That's what I see is dying in the black church. A lot of what seemed to be belief in God was that people feared and respected these pastors. And these pastors had an iron hand and they ruled people. People don't have the same fear or respect of these jackleg preachers that they once had. You follow? The other thing is that there's less men in church, less strong men in church, less feminine women in church, fewer young people in church. The music in the church is completely bankrupt. it's less spiritual than the R&B from the 60s and 70s. So the music's bad. I mean, the whole thing is garbage. So the black church, what they had was at least a little bit, back then of a sense of heaven and hell, consequences. At least people gave lip service to it. We've lost the fear of God, a respect for God, and people don't know who Jesus Christ is. A lot of these preachers get up and talk about themselves. It's more, if you look at the fact they don't call them churches, they call them centers or this or that. These are sort of like motivational speakers, like Joel Osteen, not people that actually go to the Bible. They don't tell people that, having sex with 10 people on the weekend is ungodly. They don't tell you that being LGBTQ, you weren't born that way, you were born a sinner, and that God's able to change you. There's holiness. Some people, maybe they took it to an extreme, wouldn't go to the beach, wouldn't play dice, wouldn't play lotto, didn't smoke, didn't drink, didn't cuss, didn't play board games with dice, didn't play cards. They had a whole lifestyle that certain people that certain things you just didn't do. Like it was a scandal to get divorced. It's a scandal to even talk about an abortion. Now, I mean, there are people in church. I boast about having a baby killed. So in reality, the black church has become a brothel of satanic demons. And the best thing that could happen to a lot of the black churches is for people to leave them and start praying and seeking God in their own Bible in their own home. You'll look to leave, let these places. In fact, they're all becoming gay condos here anyway in DC and in cities. COVID in many ways broke the back. In fact, COVID and a lot of other things have made black preachers full-time agents of the police and the government. In fact, these pastors can't wait for the next outbreak. They were paid and they took bribes to shut their churches. They were bribed to get these people to take these poisons. They can't wait for those checks. See, it doesn't require faith to get a government check to destroy your congregation. It takes faith, if you have a faith ministry, that people are going to support you, that you're going to have enough money in that plate to pay for the chiller, for your air conditioning and the vacuum and the flood insurance and all that. If you've got a religious factory that they misnomer as a church. So, the black church has become a business. There used to be pastors that would go to the courts, go to the schools, go to the hospitals, go to the jails. There's still some. But the church has become a business, having gone to divinity school. These people don't care anything about the pastors. You can't even see this dude. I mean, these guys, I knew it was bad in the 80s when you needed to get the pager for the pastor. Now you can't even see them, speak to them, talk to them. They're not available. And in reality, a lot of black churches have become places of the rich. They don't want, they throw some bad processed food to give people worse diabetes and health problems than what they already had. But the church isn't involved the same way. And by the way, who is in the church primarily? Black women. The black women run the show in church. So whatever you see bad in black women out in the street, that's more or less the church, unless you've got rare circumstances where the men and women really fear God, respect each other, and understand order. That's not the norm for us.
I agree. Eric King said Dr. King was shunned by the black boule. How would you respond to that?
They let white people know that he could be murdered a year before his death. They all signed a joint letter that they disagreed with Dr. King's stance on the Vietnam War. And Jesse Jackson and Billy Cowles, I think Billy Cowles was Greek too, they had a boule person watch Dr. King get shot, who was Jesse Jackson, who's Omega. And there have been several black leaders who've been assassinated, and there were Greek people on site to watch it. There were Greek people on site for Malcolm's assassination. There were people there for Whitney Young's assassination. This happens all the time. We need to start. And I believe that black boule people helped kill Harold Washington in Chicago. These people are a vicious lot.
Who's Harold Washington? Was he a congressman?
No, he was a congressman who later became the first black mayor of Chicago, who they assassinated in the late 80s.
Right. Okay, all right. All right, hold tight. Let's play another one. Hold tight, Doc.
Out here that's doing like Roland Martin and all of these people that's out here, Joy Reid. If you want to be educated, if you really want to know the truth, all you got to do is turn to MSNBC and watch Joy Reid, and she gonna give you a whole history lesson every night on MSNBC, and then after that, Rachel Maddow. All you gotta do is just watch it.
And it's not opinion, it's facts.
Don't do this right here.
Yeah, and
don't be on the internet doing Kamala Harris like that.
Yeah.
I don't care what issue you got with black women. Your mama's a black woman. How about that? Let's start there.
All right, so this current matriarchy that we have, your mom is black, which is another Trojan horse, in my opinion, all owned by liberal Democrats or liberals in general. It's a Trojan horse. You know, you talked about it earlier. We don't have masculinity in our homes and in our communities anymore. But the Trojan horse of the Democrats and your mama is black. What's your take on that? What's your take on this nonsense about every time black men begin to stand up, they say your mom is black?
That's black men's fault. You know, I was talking to a young woman in Chicago, and I told her I want to marry a woman that may be 30. I'm 59. I'm not marrying some old, dried up on the inside woman. I'm going to marry a younger woman able to have children. And this broad started bitching. And I says, it's my dick, not yours. What do I care about your opinion? Now, when a woman gets a younger man, oh, that's how viral and virile she is. When a man, see, black men spend too much time negotiating and trying to get along. To hell with what women think. Women don't care about what men think. If they've got tattoos on their eyeballs and it looks ugly and they've got these ugly hairdos, no matter what men think, they're going to do it. Black men run around. It's interesting. We've got our roles reversed. The black men run after women all the time, baking and doing cakes and shit, trying to get women's approval. And women used to bitch about this. Men would do this when sexism was in. Women, now that they're empowered, do the same thing they bitch about men having done. Black men waste too much time trying to negotiate with women about shit that men everywhere else in the world do not talk to women about. It's none of women's affair. You can't take a woman's cell phone and look at who she's talking to. So how the hell you let her take yours? What business is it of hers? And she's not paying the bill either. She wants to see who's. It's none of her damn business. Black men don't allow. Black men have not demanded that their privacy and their humanity be respected. And I see this in relationships where a woman doesn't like to have sex but once or twice a year, and the man will put up with that, and he'll give her some whenever she asks, but when he wants, and black men are told, well, just always give in to women.
Your sound is off, Doc. You muffled. Your sound is a little off.
I'll try again. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's a little muffled.
Let me step out for a second.
All right.
So anyway, we're having this conversation, and you know I don't care. I really don't care a damn about what a feminist thinks. I don't care.
One of us anyway. All right, Doc, go ahead, brother.
You know, one of the problems is that when boys are not brought up with their fathers, their point of reference is exclusively female. That's a problem. And a lot of times, the young boys are blasted and attacked constantly by their mothers for what the father didn't do. There are a lot of black men that walk around with black male guilt. They're upset about the stuff that black men don't do right. Sometimes they're right, sometimes it's exaggerated because you're hearing what your mother and your aunts. And I used to think like that. I used to think that women had it all together and men were screwed initially. And I began to realize women are screwed up too. People are screwed up. But a lot of black men, when they don't have anything to compare themselves to, then they're hearing this constant bombardment of men ain't shit. They internalize it. Your father's not shit, you're not shit, you'll never be shit. So a lot of black men are always trying to prove to black women that they're okay. It's the game black women play. So you're constantly trying to show you're sincere and that you're decent, that you're kind, and they act. That's the same game that white people play. That when they're hazing you, that I can take this, I can work this job, and you can call me nigga, and I'll prove to you. We are running after the acceptance of people and not giving it. Black men need to have greater esteem in who and what their worth is, and whoever I bust a nut in will be black. At least the baby will be. And whenever I have a family, will be a black family. I am not dependent on a hard-headed, obstinate, insubordinate black American woman to have a black family. So a hard-headed, foul-mouthed, difficult black woman, she's outsourced her sexual job to another woman in the universe, and I don't feel sorry. Die alone. In fact, I don't think a cat or a dog would want to be around anybody so bitter. And so black men have to stop feeling guilty. I used to do it. I used to try to prove that all black men weren't bad, and I noticed the more I did it, the more disrespect. Women actually like for men to defy them. The black male who didn't grow up with the dad doesn't know that. The women need, and I don't care who female doesn't like it, women like men that can control them. They do not like men that cannot. A lot of black men are told, controlling woman, man, do I have the right mouthwash? Am I using the right deodorant? Do I have the right nail polish? They're acting like the woman trying to get the man's approval back in the day. And women, while they'll put up with it, they won't let you in on their game. And you need a man to tell you some of the stuff, the games that slick women, because they're decent women, but the slick, tricky women play. That man isn't going to get schooled game by his mother if she hates his dad. She sends her boy out into the world as a lamb to be slaughtered by vicious Jezebel females. And this is, do you get where I'm coming from? Black men shouldn't even be entertaining. In fact, what's disgusting about black men is that they should be talking to other black men about what they think. We waste too much time with women and too little time with each other. And I'm not talking about gayness. I see too much. I've been around all kinds of people, and what I've noticed, black American men are the biggest pandering, begging, running after women men in the world, which is why the minute a black American man goes to any other country, the women grab a black American man.
Yes, that's true.
He can cook, he'll screw on command, he's polite, he's nice, he's sweet talks you, you can spend money. That has nothing to do with being a man in most other cultures in the world. And our black American women are spoiled as shit. They need to know that. And until we need to get more black men to travel to recognize we've been lied to by mothers and grandmothers. Because I'll tell you, there's a secret impulse in many women to rule over men.
Yes.
All the while bitching about how they don't have any freedom for men. Bullshit. It's time for black men to rebel against that. I couldn't care a damn who doesn't like the fact that I would never vote for that whore Kamala Harris. And right now, I don't think I would vote for most women politicians anymore after what I've seen over this abortion and other stuff. Now, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. And I'm glad that some of the super weird ones are getting kicked out, even if AIPAC does it. Something needs to kick these folks in the head to recognize you're not in a separate race from me. And if I go down, stupid woman, you go down too.
Right. And I know in my life seen so many men casting their power and their male sovereignty to women. And you're right, from a theological position in the book of Genesis. It says she will have a desire for her husband, but he will rule over her. She will have a desire. Desire in the Hebrew meant she wanted power. So you're correct. They want power in relationships. And many times men concede power instead of demanding power.
We're told that it's being cool. As long as you get the pussy, give her all the power. What's the word that these simp black men say? Happy wife, happy life. In other words,
happy wife, happy life,
if I'm her slave, I get all the pussy I want. Seems as if you should get pussy because you're married. How the hell is something that you said I do to become something that you controlled substance? These broads have lost their mind. The first ones to run the divorce court. And you're a counselor. A whole lot of women don't screw for years at a time. And they dare the husband to go out and get some and won't give them any. And they know they're going to get the house and the car and everything.
Right,
Black men have auctioned away their control of the family for a crappy deal of being able to be promiscuous. We need to be talking to each other, not just talking. We need to get on business to overturn some of these laws in these cities and these courts and to bust down and equalize stuff for paternity and everything else. So black men spend too much time worrying about black women and not enough time thinking about how we can get along.
Right. No, I agree with that, man. Hold tight. I agree with you 100%. Hold tight, Doc.
Ricky Smiley, I love you. But crying on the radio for Kamala Harris, my brother, that's an all-time low. Don't do that again, Ricky Smiley. Don't you get on your radio show and cry for Kamala. Don't you do that, my brother. If you want to cry for Kamala Harris, you do that in the privacy of your house. But if we're going to be honest, Steve Harvey and Ricky Smiley, and I love you both. No hate to my big brothers. But if we're going to be honest, Ricky Smiley and Steve Harvey, y'all only carried on because y'all got paid to carry on. Can we please be honest? They offered me $10K for an interview with Kamala Harris. I don't want your money, but we can definitely do the interview. They offered me $10K for an interview with Kamala Harris. Yes, we can do the interview. Keep your damn money. King Kong consciousness ain't for sale. I'm one of the real ones. Silverback Garvey Gorilla.
All right, so many black politicians or black people in general, the buffer class, many are selling out for money. And as you said earlier in the show, throwing black folks, especially black boys, under the bus. I call this real black overseas, real buffer class. I see shaking your head as well. Shaking your head.
The sound is poor. No.
Can you guys hear me? Doc say he can't hear me. Can you guys hear me well?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, well, I don't know what's going on. But anyway, hell, I forgot what I was saying. But I would say that many times people sell themselves. A lot of these people in power, they sell the black community for money. You heard what what's my man name? Dr. Umar Johnson. What's your take on what he said a minute ago? What's your take on that?
Well, I would say Umar. He does the same sorts of things, but for different reasons. Okay, so I see him simping too. I just don't give a lot of attention to him, and he's talking about how much he loves these people. To me, that's weak. I shouldn't have to apologize or explain because you want to be on that platform at some point. Either you stand or you don't stand. So to me, that was weak. And he's everywhere and all over the place and everything to everybody. So, okay, he said it. And in fact, I would be insulted if they only offered me $10,000 with all the people following him. That's not enough. They should have come with $250,000 or 100,000 something. Should have at least been 5 zeros. I mean, like 4 zeros. That says how little they respect him. These people are all being paid, but I look at controlled opposition, and you don't have to tell people you're a real one if you are a real one, really. And So I'm very suspect of people who don't cultivate cadres. If you come to where I am with Pat talking, I'm trying to give voice to other black men. It's bigger than me. I may be the main person, but I don't have an issue if you came and talked. I was a guy from Mississippi. I bring people. We want to give power. Real black men that are strong, that are alpha, build armies and build other people. I haven't seen Umar build a cadre. It's all about him. Okay? So I don't count what he says. Even if it's right. I mean, you've been out here all these years. Where's the group? Where's the movement? You're on every issue, every time you're on. It's controlled opposition. So I don't respect that either. I stand on what I had to say, and says a lot of stuff I agree with, but a lot of people say stuff we agree with. But what are you doing? And why do you have to express love for someone and how you love them? That to me is weak. Stand your ground. I mean, really. If he said something stupid and effeminate, call him out. Now, if you're friends to him, which to me is interesting, how are you going to be a Garvey nationalist and you're running with the Boule people, and the Boule people tried to destroy Garvey? You've got to have some absolutes. Ricky and them don't have, and Umar doesn't have.
Interesting. Hold tight. That's interesting. You were talking about Roland Martin earlier on your show, I believe. You were saying something about Roland Martin. What's your point of contention with Roland Martin, Doc? You were talking about him earlier. What's your point of contention with him?
Roland Martin, the same way that Roland Martin was willing to steal presidential debate questions to help Hillary Clinton, you would do that for a white person, but you can't open your mouth for reparations for black people. I don't risk, and he's Haitian, and he's trained by white supremacists, Project 21. He's a plant. He's failed at, he may be a rich man, but he almost destroyed the Chicago Defender. He's constantly been kicked upstairs like Kamala Harris, but they don't need him anymore. And he's crying and begging to be in good graces back in white television, where you have enough money, make your own thing. You've got the resources to do it, but you see, it won't be any good if it's black. The white man's ice is colder. He's a slave. He will always be a slave. He will also be someone I'm looking at cross-eyed. He was trained at a white supremacist type religious seminary down in Louisiana. And he's supposedly a preacher, and you run around dancing, and you're constantly promoting LGBTQ type people, and you're supposedly a man of God? Okay. Nope. No particular value for me. I call him Rollover Martin. I question his Christianity. I question his manhood. I question his integrity. I question his relevance to black people. And he's deeply disliked by thinking grassroots people. This will grow. He lives out in Ashburton. If you've ever seen the picture where the white man is playing like he's palming his behind on the golf course, a black man that would let a white man play around his buttocks is someone I can't trust or respect. And you think that's fun that you've got a golf club between your legs like it's a penis with white men playing behind your behind. If you would do that on camera, what would you do off?
When did he do this?
It's up on the internet. There's a picture of Roland Martin with this white dude behind like he's going to slap that ass. I mean, you play like that. I used to see that in the university, the black guys who were mascots with white dudes, and the white guys got to get off all their fantasies about black men's penises and anatomy, and the black guy says, well, they like me. I mean, you would never let a black man play around your behind like that in public. Maybe Roland would, but most people wouldn't. That's what I have to say. Damn Roland Martin, and I'll
All right,
keep
hold
saying
on.
it.
Go ahead, Doc. Go ahead. You good? I didn't want to cut across you. You good?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, hold tight.
Somebody get Roland Martin. We gonna get a. Let's put a neck on layaway for this. This has no neck.
You talk a lot about pork chop feminism. I created a concept called the porky pig syndrome. And the porky pig syndrome, in my best estimate, simply means this. When it comes down to policy, I don't know if you remember on Roots, you had Fiddler and you had Kunta Kinte. And Fiddler always gave Kunta Kinte not pork, but poke. And if you know anything about the South and pigs, black folks always had the worst part of the pig, which was the chitlin, the head, the feet, the tail, and the ears. They never gave them the best part of the pig. And so people like Roland Martin have what I call porky pig syndrome, because they often give black people poke, not pork, which is real tangibles. How would you respond to that?
He's in the boule. That's his mission. I think he is Alpha Phi Alpha. I mean, they all do the same thing. You keep seeing it. If you really start looking, you see someone that's on bullshit, that's not offering anything. They're always in the divine swine.
Hey, hold tight. All right. 1 minute. All right. This goes back to what Brother Malcolm was saying years ago. Malcolm X talked. Let me run this real quick. Hold on.
I can do some shuffling too. Look out, man. What you going to do? Coming through. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Boy, you got educated feet. Boy, I practice all the time. Here's one I set up all night trying to do. Get this. When a postdoc in Memphis, you should get yourself a job in one of them Beale Street cafes. That is here for us. We're going to ask, do you know how to wobble?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you know how to wobble?
I don't.
You know how to wobble? You just lost the black folks back there. Karen, the black folks in your stand will teach you how to wobble. Trust
Can
me.
you show me how to do
Oh, I can show you how to do it. You're going to pick up some folks, trust me.
But I gotta see it in order to know it.
You need some music. I don't need music, but I'm just saying.
Okay, who can show me? Come on. Don't...
All right, boule bojangling. That's all you have from modern day Democrat politicians. It's boule bojangling. No real tangibles. When we try to have cogent conversations that's based in policy and rational thought, many times it's minimized. What do you think is the cause for so many people that choose to be in darkness and not demand anything? Even though more black, okay, I'll let you answer that first. Go ahead.
In other cultures, people like that find themselves victimized. Houses burned, beaten up, car destroyed. You can't do this in a lot of places. Black Americans are too soft with people that betray us. We're going to have to put some steel in our political dicks. And we're going to have to deal with people. As I said to my show, if Roland Martin and these people were greeted by people that threw rotten fruit and vegetables and gave them hell, a lot of them would get out of public life, or a lot of them would start putting on a more militant face, the same way that people started wearing dashikis and wearing their hair natural, not because they like being black, but the black people that were really raising hell among the boomers put heat and pressure on people. Power concedes nothing without a demand, says Frederick Douglass. The black masses have not demanded of the boule. We've begged, we've pleaded, we've hoped. Hey, you're black, I'm black, can't you? How about Roland Martin? We're going to roll 1,000 deep on your house with bats and torches if you don't stop doing that shit on your show. I bet you that would rock his world that many people. He'd have to call his people, right? He'd have to call his Alpha Phi Alpha people. And we'd go to whoever came to his house. If anybody supports Roland Martin, we're going to get you. Let me remind you, in Montgomery, as much as people don't want to talk about it, blacks stayed off the buses because they're folks that would put their foot in people's asses if they got on the bus. In New York, for the omnibus company that wouldn't hire blacks, same thing. When they were boycotting Con Edison in the 40s, if you cut your light on, you'd have a brick thrown through your window. See, in our community, when you betray and hurt us, normally we ignore it. Oh, well, they need it. I feel, I hurt. It's individualism trumps the collective. Until we make people pay for betraying the collective and hurt people where they really say, God, I wish I hadn't done this. There's no consequence. In fact, what the black masses and a lot of other so-called legitimate black people have done is said there's no consequence to selling out black people. You can hurt them, you can destroy them, and there's nothing. We have to inflict pain on people who hurt us. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Since they've hurt us, we should hurt them.
What would that look like in your opinion?
Well, for Roland Martin, for people to drive his YouTube channel off, it would be letting people know if you sponsor Roland Martin, we'll boycott your business. We're demanding that Alpha Phi Alpha censor him, or we're going to do things to go after people that give things or do business with Alpha Phi Alpha. Economic, as well as ostracism. If you have Roland Martin come to your school or church, we'll be out there to turn it out, to protest. Oh yes, the boule does this to its enemies. The same way the boule insulted Trump at the NABJ. They attacked their enemies. They've never been attacked. In fact, the boule is a lot like white American elites. They can swing and beat up on people, but nobody dare swing back at them. It's our fault. The last time I've really seen people stand up to the boule, and it was kind of confused and misguided, was in 1984. It's been 40 years. 40 years maybe this month, where the black people who supported Jesse Jackson's run, because people thought Jesse was going to be for black folks, went after Coretta Scott King, and they went after Andrew Young for kissing Jimmy Carter's ass and other people's ass, Walter Mondale's ass, right? And not giving Jesse the time of day. Not that back then people thought Jesse was real. So the grassroots said, you guys dogged us. They turned it out. And the only reason was people begged in the name of Dr. King not to come down on Mrs. King or the other old Negroes that were up under the Democratic Party. It's 40 years. Maybe we can get this. This is actually happening now. It's the same dynamic. Certain black folks are saying, to hell with this.
Yeah.
So,
I agree with that. I think more black people are beginning to wake up. I think they're beginning to see that the same old must stop or cease, and they begin to understand and more or less try and talk about real power. I think black people are ready for real power. Black men, and there's a burgeoning number of black women that are looking for real power. They're sick of the same partisan politics that don't offer anything.
And a lot of these black women have been impacted by the Kevin Samuels revolution. There are a lot of black women that are ready to work with black men. I deal with them every day. There are a lot of righteous, I call them wazis, our righteous sisters, the Fannie Lou Hamer type sisters. They're out there, and we black men must support and work with them, which is why, as you know, we have the Patriarch Summit on Saturday. But one of the things that's going to come out of that is we need a working committee to put together the YCCA Summit. That stands for Warrior Sisters in Arms Summit, for the sisters that are righteous, that are right next to us. The Harriet Tubmans, we're going to help them build a movement to truly deal with women's issues, where we will be in cooperative and consultative status with our sisters. Now, the thing we're going to be clear on is that we hate abortion and we hate feminism, but we're for women owning property, women being protected, women being safe, women having nutrition, women having all kinds of rights that they should have, with them being expanded, provided it's not working to undermine the status of men as fathers and leaders in the community.
What happened to the Wazis, in your opinion, of yesterday? What happened to the Wazis
Feminism.
of yesterday?
Feminism. People thought it was something good. At one point, feminism, when it was talking about women voting, women owning property, and their range of things that just absolutely makes sense. I thought I knew what feminism was. I thought, yeah, women should get this, but until I got to Harvard and I learned feminism is for killing babies, feminism is for organs being taken out, feminism is for transhumanism, for pedophilia, for non-binary, everything that's anti-God in terms of man and woman, getting rid of the family. That's damn. Now I'm anti-feminist. Women's rights, the protection that anybody should expect that's a citizen, I'm for that 199.9%. And any real man wants to protect, respect, and care for and about women and children.
Right.
Okay, a real man. Men that predators that hurt, that violate, that can't be faithful, that see a woman as just a series of holes, her mouth, her vagina, her rectum, and her pocketbook. He's a predator. He's not really a man. He is a parasite. Okay, the women who were really looking for something genuine got tricked. They got duped. And by the way, in the black male culture that praises and worships women, we got this queen vagina worship culture. With those two forces, a lot of black women got corrupted as well. The removal of the men from the home, drugs, gangs, the deindustrialization. Our family got eviscerated by what happened. So black women have been harmed egregiously, and black men have been harmed, and the leadership at the point that they hit us was when they were killing and jailing all the people that were standing up. And you know who sat back with the education, the wherewithal, and the money to do something? The Boulets has sat and watched black folks be destroyed. That's like me being a lifeguard and letting someone drown in the baby pool. This is what Roland and them have done to us. This is criminal, and I will say to you, if you study other cultures, it's not kind how such people are treated. It's not nonviolent. And in fact, if you try to help someone, stop people from going after folks who betrayed them, they'd get you too. And this is why I'm loud and I'm outspoken, because people mistake me for being elite or boule. If anyone looked me up and said, oh, he's not boule, oh my, I've had people boule, then, oh, you are angry, nigga. Oh, you okay? Because they're ready to step to me. No, I'm not one of those people that live in a multi-million-dollar home like the Prince of Bel-Air. That's not me. Okay, I'm not against people owning. I'm just thinking, when you have, don't forget from whence you came. So if you and I talk, I'll let you know. My grandmother Maria was sold as a slave in October 1846 to be a whore to white men in New Orleans while she was pregnant, and with one of my, which is I have family in Louisiana. I think everybody, my great-grandfather was able to buy her out, but probably not get his son, who would be one of my great uncles, right? I can't forget that my grandmother chained up and shipped like a hog to be screwed to the highest bidder. Do you see what I'm saying? You talk about protecting women, and my grandfather going in the gold rush to get enough money to buy her out, passed himself off as a white man. That makes me angry. So I'm very clear. about the slaves or whatever in my family, or what I've come from. Not that everybody was a slave in my family, but that happened. That they could take, I don't know if she was kidnapped or what happened, but $1 billion can't erase that from my memory. That my great-great-grandfather's mother-in-law was taken like that, locked up, where they put a chastity type belt, lock their vagina up, and send them down to New Orleans. That's outrageous.
It is outrageous, and with so much going on, as you said earlier, and I agree with you, righteous women deserve protection. I call them Catherines. You call them Wazis. I call them Catherines. Catherines were very refined women. They were very clean. They were honorable. They took care of their children. They took care of the men. They took care of their community. They believed in family. They believed in God. They were God-fearing. They were the big mama in the neighborhood. They took care of the children. But we have metastasized from Catherine's to Keisha, which is another modern-day Trojan horse that's more or less proliferated under the Democratic plantation. And Malcolm X said it, and Ron James said a modern feminist would sacrifice the survival of her husband and children for her temporary happiness. And I agree with that. Listen to what Malcolm said real quick. I'll take
baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community, and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Damn. I wonder if she's a man. Is she a woman for real?
Yeah, she's a woman.
You sure? It should be hoes for Harris.
All right.
I just told you a little while ago, these
So these are Trojan horses, the Meg Thee Stallions, these liberal gospel singers like Kirk Franklin, and also the Joel Osteen, the Creflo Dollars, and the T.D. Jakes of the world. They are part of the Trojan horses under Obama and Harris, because you don't see modern black preachers. The majority of them preaching. You don't see the majority of black preachers like the top tier ones like Creflo, Joel Osteen, Jakes, preaching against sin consistently. How would you respond to that?
Yeah, well, the Bible says that the good shepherd lays his life down for the sheep. The hireling does it for money. These people in this, they're hustlers. TD, as I say, take Dick's Jakes, is in it for the money. And I think I believe he's a deviant man. And I have questions about Joel Osteen. He's got a little twinkle in his eye. I'm just saying. And even Kamala Harris's vice presidential, he holds his jaw like he's been like doing BJs. Maybe he did a BJ on the horse. Probably milked it. I don't know. It's just really, really, really. These people don't. If you really believe in God, you're in it for the souls of people. Nothing wrong with being able to get resources to take care of yourself if you're doing the ministry of the church. But it's absolutely vile for the church to become a business. The church as a body of the people, not the religious real estate. And they've got the game fucked up, pardon my language. The game is not about buildings and pipe organs and spires and parking lots and campuses and elevators and family life centers. It's about the saving of souls and teaching the gospel of the birth, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ, and doing justice and mercy and being an advocate for widows, orphans, and for the poor, to the pain of death. That's what the Christian ministry is. And these other people are not doing it. I've known ministers. There used to be people. These preachers sometimes have the same raggedy car, same raggedy clothes, and they would be there for the people. In fact, I always bring the point, when you see the preachers and the bright red robes, the actual color is magenta, that those robes are symbolic in color. They started making the robes red because the ministers in ancient times used to be beaten bloody for the people. They got tired of washing out their white robes, so they made their robes red so they could be beaten on behalf of speaking up for the people. Now these people wear these red robes as a homoerotic fashion statement. They've been swallowed.
You're talking about Jakes. Interesting. Hold on. Give me 1 minute. All right, hold tight. This part. And so, black folks are waking up. Many are becoming aligned with Donald Trump, like this brother here.
Right? And if I was Meg Thee Stallion, if I was a ratchet performer, I'm not saying I can't be a ratchet performer. Shit, I wish I was able to make some money out there. You know, swinging some dang, and shaking my ass, but hey, that ain't the cards that God has dealt with. What if I could, and I was making money that way, and for some reason, you know, the presidential candidate that I wanted to win asked me to be at their rally to do that act on stage, I would say no, because I want you to be taken seriously on the world stage. And the last thing I want people to do is associate you with my ass shaking and dick slinging.
I can't hear that at all, whatever he's saying.
Okay, don't worry about it. I'll speed it up. Hold tight. This is Bakari Sellers crying. Did you see Bakari Sellers crying?
He's a cousin of mine, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
It's unfortunate. My grandmother is Marie Sellers. Okay? It's a very small world, isn't it?
It is a small world. I totally agree. Hold tight.
Damn. I can't hear what he's saying, believe me. No. You should just tell me what. Look, Bakari needs to grow up. He got busted for a DUI. He got busted on a DUI a few years ago, and that basically tanked his political career in South Carolina. If he were a real man, he would run against Clyburn and get that old Negro spiritual out of office. Okay, I mean, but you know, he's waiting his time. But you know what? It's not going to work because Clyburn's going to put his daughter in there. You know, you got to fight for something. You can't. You got to. Sometimes you have to break eggs to get scrambled eggs. You got to break the shell to eat a boiled egg. No matter how it is, if you're going to eat the contents of an egg, you must break the shell.
Right. No, I totally agree. I agree with you 100%. What are you seeing from black folks in your area in D.C.? What are you seeing from black people as it relates to protests and speaking out and loud about the things in D.C.? What are you seeing?
You know, my neighborhood has been so heavily gentrified. What I see when I go outside are rainbow flags. I don't see a lot of black. I see some homeless people. I see people begging. I see some black folks trying to buy some drugs. I don't see much. I don't see that. D.C. is the most gentrified, has had the most intense gentrification of all cities in America. So I don't see black people doing stuff, and if I do, they tend to be either gay or in some white liberal or communistic type thing that's off code. So when I normally see that, I go in another direction. I can't hear you again. No. No. I can hear you now. I heard the AKA thing, and
Okay, you already heard it. Talk about it. Go ahead.
it's real simple. In October 2020, the Greek letter organizations vow complete loyalty to the Biden-Harris campaign without anything in return. They will do the same thing with Kamala and ask for nothing because they feel connected, because they know they'll get money on the backside through not-for-profits, through the Small Business Association. Anybody that doesn't believe this, and I don't care what people think, can do a simple Google search and look up Divine Nine or Black Greek letter and put A-N-D, SBA, small business, and you'll see that they've been given all kinds of money and support, and the Divine Nine is supposed to end the wealth disparity between blacks and whites. It's gotten worse. Now, I've got another program to do in 15 minutes. No, actually in about 45. So can we stop at 8:30?
Yeah. No problem. All right, yeah, we can definitely do that. No problem. All right, so the migrant crisis is something that's been burgeoning. Another Trojan horse, which is the migrant crisis. Give me your intake on the migrant crisis. Not migrant crisis, but homelessness, mass immigration.
That's not immigration. I'm going to keep calling you. Stop using the language of the enemy.
Well, hold tight, brother. Hold tight. Let's say illegal immigration. Is that better?
No, because immigration is legal. I mean, you're a PhD. You say what actually is. You're using the talking points of people that hate your guts. Why do that?
I don't know what you're talking about. When
I'm
I
saying
say illegal immigrant. Hold tight. Let me talk.
When you say immigrant, an immigrant is illegal. I mean, immigrant means legal.
So what do you call them? What term do you say?
Illegal alien. That's honest. That's
Okay,
actually saying what it is.
All right, illegal alien. That's better. All right, illegal alien. Right. So, what is your take on illegal immigration? What got us here? Mass inflation, immigration, inflation, mass incarceration, and broken families due to law. Elaborate on that, please.
Again, illegal aliens are being systematically brought in to erase black people. And this has happened throughout American history, that they've had people come over. Initially, these people were from Europe that were immigrants. That's what they called them. Once the population or the demographics in Europe did not support people wanting to come here because the standard of living in Europe is better for many people than America, what America had to offer, or at least the people didn't want to come here, they decided almost 60 years ago to blunt the black civil rights drive by opening the floodgates to all these other people coming in, and shortly thereafter created new categories like Hispanic. You had this white ethnic movement, all these things to get the country off of the unfinished business that our people need to get paid and restituted for what's been done to us. Inflation, I mean, the government keeps printing money. They need to stop printing so much money. And the other thing that needs to happen is they have this booty check, this sodomite who's in charge of transportation. All kinds of things have been happening. In particular, the Biden and them drove up inflation because cheap energy, which is the heartbeat of any industrial society, they made the price of energy go through the ceiling. That made the price of food. They're the ones that crashed it. They did it on purpose. And they flooded the country with these people. They know that, one, the white population, a part of them want whites to be a minority by 2030, but they don't want blacks to be the dominant non-white group in the country. So they brought all these people in, and they know they're hostile to us. They're putting us in their area. These people have all kinds of diseases. They want us gotten rid of. This is not that's what we've aborted 20 million black children. We'd be 100 million or more people now had we not done this. Listening to black feminists and white radical lesbian feminists and fagonist black sellout beggar beta males. And we could be doing business with one another. Black businesses were growing under Trump. That stopped. Black businesses were growing before Obama came in. Obama destroyed the SBA. The Democrats have been attacking the black economy. Obama, who was Biden's mentor, I guess, they allowed trillions of dollars in real estate to leave the hands of black people. There's been a war against us, an economic war, going all the way back to the 1600s, and it takes different courses as this country devolves. But one thing that everybody agrees on, keep niggers down, and the Boule and other black people agree that we should be kept down, and foreign blacks think so, and honorary whites in this group, racial group of others, and Arabs and other people come here, do not want us to get our share of this country. And the other big lie is that everybody came here on a slave ship, and I'm very quick to correct Africans. My great-grandmother, Amanda Kelly, is an Indian full blood. I can't. My grandmother's grandmother, that's a Creek Indian, or Seminole Indian actually, they didn't come here from Africa. They were black, but they didn't come from Africa. This is my land. It's our land and our labor, because we're a people that are we're a polyethnic blend of a people. This is our land, and it's our labor that's been stolen. Everybody knows this, but the people, the Pan-Africanists, these are Negroes on the left that want everybody to go back to Africa. Nobody gives up land. Nobody gives up 400 or 500 years of work. That's insane. Or you get these degenerates who, you can get your penis cut off. We'll give you $200,000 to cut your testicles off. We're being destroyed. And we're being destroyed from within and from without. We've got to cut our losses. The easiest battle that black people can have is to fight against traitors. In South Africa, when they knew they had to change the government from a crappy white government to at least a crappy black-looking government, was when the black South Africans began to deal with traitors. Any people that want to be free, clean house. If you want to have a party, you clean your house up before you bring people over, right? If we're going to move forward, we've got to deal with the scum in our ranks. We have to stop pretending everybody brown is cool. Floyd George is no hero of mine, or George, whatever the hell is in, the one that died with drugs with the knee on his neck. These people are a drag on our ability to free ourselves. And no people that want freedom allow this kind of garbage to go on unchecked.
Interesting. Before you go, I know you gotta go. Any closing comments before you leave? I know you gotta go.
Yes, I want everybody that likes this to, for the people in my group, my 50 so odd people, this is the Kosher Clinicians channel that I'm doing a talk with. Look him up, sign up, join them. And for all the people on the Kosher Clinicians channel, I'm Dr. Randy Short from the Angry Black Men's Book Club. We're doing a men's meeting on the 24th of August. That's next Saturday. Look up Patriarch Summit. We should have a few engaging speakers, and this is just the starting point of bringing real alpha black men with the heart of Malcolm X and the currency of Kevin Samuels, the morality and spirituality of Dr. King, and the forcefulness of Robert Williams and Nat Turner to the fore again, in partnership with the Ida B. Wellses types and the Harriet Tubman types of black women. And anybody that wants to support this can go to the patriarchsummit.com. If you like to donate to at that, I'm Dr. Randy Short. $ Dr. Randy Short is a cash app. On the patriarchsummit.com has our GoFundMe, and I have a Zelle and a PayPal, which is my personal email if you'd like to write me. I'm WRandyShort, all lowercase, at gmail.com. Again, WRandyShort@gmail.com. WRandyShort@gmail.com. $ Dr. Randy Short is the Cash App. It's also Dr. Randy Short Patreon. And my Zelle and PayPal at WRandyShort@gmail.com. I respond to serious people with questions. I also want to let everybody know, if you want to see a show, at 9 o'clock, we are doing a show called Black Dicks Matter, Prostate Cancer and the Black Men, at 9 o'clock on the Angry Black Men's Book Club. This is why I have to leave you so rapidly. I'll be on with a brother who's been working with prostate cancer in Mississippi, and a NASA scientist by the name of Mother Azima Kennedy, who's been helping me deal with my stage 4 prostate cancer. Pray for me, and we'll see each other again. It's been wonderful, and let's keep doing this. And Mr. Smallwood, Dr. Smallwood, you need to be a guest on my platform soon.
All right, I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your kindness,
Bye-bye.
man. All right, be good. Take care.
Okay, guys. I got to stop, but I want to thank everybody. I got to get ready. I need a snack, but we're going to do Black Dicks Matter. So, look, I'm not going to be a person that's fake. I got a problem. If I can navigate through, I want everybody that's facing cancer to not be corralled into radiation or something that can hurt them. So I'm going to get a Zima. I'm going to get this wonderful brother named Marlo in Mississippi, and we're going to have a thing. I may even get my sisters. I'm going to reach out to my sisters. I'm going to get some Wazies on, and yeah, we're going to talk about Black Dicks Matter. How about this, y'all? So give me a few. We'll be back at 9 o'clock. So that's exactly 30 minutes. Take a break. Hi, Chris G. Hi, Savannah. El Negro Hotep. Are y'all ready? Can you say Black Dicks Matter? I mean, even gay people can agree with me in this. MFM, everybody. MFM. You guys be white until we get back together. Bye-bye.